Hi, everyone. Throughout this summer, I will be experimenting with a variety of modalities and ways to teach Torah and share Jewish teachings with you all. And so today I want to share a story that I love, that I hope will be an intention for you all as we head into Shabbat, which begins later today. The story was told originally by my colleague, Rabbi David Stern, and it's called The Cricket in the Window Box. The story takes place in a very different place than we are in Maine, or wherever you are where you're listening to this video. The story takes place in a busy, busy city, and two friends are walking down the street. Now, the street that they're walking on is incredibly noisy. There are trucks whizzing by. There are bicyclists ringing their bells. There are taxi cabs honking, honking, honking. There are loads of pedestrians walking quickly, some talking on cell phones, some talking to each other. It's a chaotic and noisy scene. And the two friends are talking, and suddenly the first friend turns to the second friend and says, "Did you hear that? I just heard a beautiful sound." The second friend responds by saying, "I didn't really hear anything too beautiful. I hear a lot of noise and trucks and taxi cabs honking. I have no idea what you're talking about." The first friend says, "Come on, let's cross the street and I'll show you. I think I heard a cricket." They cross the street, and sure enough, in this simple window box is a cricket, making its little cricket noises. So the second friend turns to this friend who was able to hear the cricket amongst all this noise and says, "That's amazing. How, amongst all this chaos, did you manage to hear a cricket?" And the first friend says, "It's easy. Watch this." So she goes into her pocket and she pulls out a small stone that she's been carrying. She puts her hand out and she drops the stone on the hard concrete. And as the stone drops, the city gets completely quiet. The trucks stop right where they are. The bicyclists stop pedaling. The pedestrians halt. And for a moment, the city is quiet and everyone is trying to hear the sound of where that small stone landed on the concrete. And the friend who's able to have this special listening ability turns to the second friend and says, "See, it all depends on what you're listening for." I love this story because I think we also, while we may not be living in a busy city, we are also in the midst of an incredible amount of noise and chaos that is swirling all around us. We have a lot of stimuli coming at us from the news, from television, from our email inboxes, from our obligations to family, from our obligations and commitments to work, from our social justice work, and the various needs of community. There is a lot coming at us, a lot of noise. And our work as human beings, and I believe our work as Jews, is to figure out amongst all that noise what, in fact, to listen for, what to pay attention, so that we can most effectively act within the world. The noise is still going to be there, and that's okay. But how we navigate through that noise, how we prioritize, and how we act is ultimately what matters. Our Jewish tradition gives us an amazing gift when it comes to navigating through the chaos and the noise. And that gift is our weekly opportunity to take a break on Shabbat. Shabbat is going to look different for every single person watching this video, but I do want to invite you to use the opportunity of this Sabbath that begins tonight to just slow down and to think about, amidst all of the noise, all of the chaos, all of the stimuli that's coming at you, what actually matters? What are your priorities? I have certainly found on the days that I have a little more space, I'm actually able to think. I'm actually able to think about how I can care for the most vulnerable, how I can better care for my family, how I can attend more effectively to work, how I can connect to something bigger than myself and connect to God. On this Shabbat that is coming in just a few hours this evening, on nearly one of the longest days of the year, I invite you to take that opportunity, even just for a few minutes, to think amidst all that you have to manage and carry and shoulder at this time. What speaks to you? What are the needs that you need to meet? What are the desires of your heart? And to find a little bit of space to welcome all of that in service of the week that is to come and of the weeks and the months that are to come, so that we can act in the world with compassion and with love and with peace for all humankind. May you have the ability, I pray, to hear the beautiful noise of the cricket in the window box. For those of you who are able, I look forward to seeing you this evening, 7 p.m. on Zoom, where we will usher in Shabbat together as a community, and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our Shabbat Torah study. Shabbat Shalom.